good mood, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But you know what fixes not being in a good mood? Power. That always fixes not being in a good mood. So I have a tinted visor on right now. And there's no street lights, which is always a fun little journey. But luckily, the Ducati Diavel has an incredible high beam. It is absolutely incredible how amazing this high beam is on this bike. I've never been a person who has had a lot of friends, and by that I mean I've had a lot of acquaintances. I've had a lot of, you know, especially through YouTube, you know, stuff like that, where people, you know who I am or want to ride or, you know, whatever. I've had my decent amount of acquaintances or friends, or if you want to call them that. Never really reliable, never really, you know, that great of people, never make the best decisions, you know, stuff like that. Have my fair share of those, as a lot of people do. But I've never had many best friends, like people that I would consider my best friends. I think in my entire life, if I had to count how many people I could call one of my best friends, I think I would probably say I've had maybe 3 or 4, maybe. And I say had because, I mean, they're still my best friends, still really good friends, but they somehow always end up getting taken away from me. And obviously, you know, your true best friends are always going to be your true best friends. But for whatever reason, mine always seem to get taken away, whether it be school, whether it be other crap. It's just not fair. And I have quite a few of that, or quite a few instances of that happening right now. My first, I want to say my first best friend that I ever had, like true best friend I ever had, is in college, out of state, so don't get to see him very much. I see him every now and then when he comes back, you know, but it's, you know, far and few in between. Sometimes I don't even know that he is back, or when he is back, he hangs out with his family or goes to see his, you know, grandparents, and hangs out with his girlfriend, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, don't really get to see him much. If I do, we normally just go to, you know, Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. And, you know, just like one night, and then the next thing I know, he's back at college in Oklahoma again. So that sucks. But he's, you know, he's one of those guys I can always count on to be there for me. One of those guys I can always count. Like, I can say anything to this guy. We have like a lot of stuff in common. You know, all that kind of stuff. And those are the people you really want to have in your life. But so I have him. I have 2 other ones that are my best friends at the moment. I have a buddy named Jesse, and his now fiance. When I met them, they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but his now fiance, Sierra, and they're currently my 2 best friends. And sorry if there's wind noise, guys. I'm going into a straight-on headwind that has had the flags straight out all day, so it's super windy. And this has no windshield on it, so that kind of sucks. I mean, you don't feel the wind very much, but I know it sucks for audio quality, so that kind of sucks. But I'm actually gonna get off here. Anyway, so, you know, I met them, and Jesse is in armed security, so he used to work for a security company where they would patrol, you know, like in a patrol car around the city. And I would go along with him in his car, in his patrol car, for 8-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts, stuff like that. I mean, and they were night shifts too. Like, I would wake up, go to class, go to work, and at nighttime, you know, from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. or 8 p.m. until 7 a.m. or whatever it was, I would ride around with Jesse in his patrol car, and then, you know, after his shift was over, we would go back to his place at his apartment, and you know, sit down and play Xbox and watch YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff, and you know, wait for either Sierra was still awake, or she was waking up, or she was, you know, doing whatever, and you know, we would chill with Sierra. Or on days that my schedule didn't line up with Jesse's, I would go over to their apartment and I would hang out with Sierra. Are you really gonna do that to me, bud? The lane ends. I would hang out with Sierra until Jesse got home from work. So I'd basically be hanging out with Sierra for a good 6, 7, 8 hours at a time until Jesse got home. And then Jesse and I would hang out when he got home. And there was a good while there. And you know, this is all during a time where I was going through a very hard time. So I wasn't sleeping. I was extremely depressed. I had a lot of anxiety and emotional issues, and was going on YouTube silence and doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, I was, you know, starting to get way behind in all of my classes, not get out of bed until 4 in the afternoon, just really just kind of gave up, and I didn't feel like doing anything. I had no energy, I had no desire to do anything, to make anything out of myself. I had none of that, and I was really depressed and just all this kind of stuff. So those nights with Jesse in his car, and you know, with Sierra waiting for Jesse to get home, was really all I had to look forward to. There was nothing else in my life that I really had to look forward to other than that, because at this time my bike was also broken, so I had no bike to go ride. I had nothing, you know, and I don't have a nice car where I can go, you know, have fun just driving around like, you know, he can. Like, he had a 1999 Trans Am that was really fun. He actually ended up totaling that though on a wet morning, had it hydroplaned on an like an on-ramp, off-ramp, kind of like a highway to highway transition ramp, and it was right after he got off work, and he ended up hydroplaning it into the barrier and ended up totaling it. But you know, I don't have a fun car like that where I can just go ride around in that and still get pleasure out of it. You know, it's just, I had nothing, you know, and so that was all I had to look forward to, was that. And they both got me through, you know, that huge hard time in my life. And you know, I don't know what I would have done without that, because I had nothing else. They actually moved into the apartment complex that I live in, just like a couple buildings over. So I see them every night, every day, no matter what time it is. You know, we always find a way to see each other and hang out. And you know, with the exception of the needing alone time, you know, just being, you know, as everybody does, you know, every couple does, all that kind of stuff, we haven't gotten tired of each other, you know. And those two, I mean, they're absolutely perfect for each other. And you know, it's just really looking forward to them, you know, enjoying their future together, stuff like that. But they recently have been going through a lot of job troubles, a lot of money issues. Basically, they've just joined in on my fast track to getting screwed over by life and everything that's in life. So they are actually having to move to Dallas. One of those things where, you know, we're obviously going to visit each other like all the time, but they're not going to be right there when I need them anymore. They're not going to actually, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to go straight. They're not going to be right there when I need them anymore. They're not going to be, you know, right around the corner where if I have a bad night, I can just go over there and just hang out with them. They're not going to be, you know, anything like that. It's going to be completely different, and I'm not going to have anybody that I can do that with again. And now, granted, their move is really going to benefit them. Like, it's really going to help them out, like help out their situation, stuff like that. Like, they don't want to move, but it's going to be better for them. And in that whole view of it, I'm really happy for them, and I hope it really works out, all that kind of good stuff. Because if it does, after a while, they're going to move back to Austin. So they'll be back. It's just they have to move for a while, start a new career, you know, stuff like that, and it's going to be hard, but it'll actually end up benefiting them, getting them more money, more stability, better schedule, more free time, stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot better for them. And you know, it just sucks, you know. But then on top of all that, even I have another best friend who I consider my best friend. I have another one who I've recently began talking to a little bit more. We have a history together, she and I, and she and I have recently been talking. You know, we don't talk all the time. It's just one of the things, like, you send each other a couple messages and, you know, just, hey, what's up? Oh, nothing much, just chilling, going to the dog park or something, you know, whatever. And then, oh, okay, that's cool. And then you text him a few days later, and in between then, it's just a bunch of random Snapchats of our dogs and whatever. And, you know, when she moved here to Texas originally, I was her first best friend. Like, I was her first actual friend at all in Texas. She didn't know anybody. And I was her first friend here. And that was after her living here for, I think, 4 months with no friends. And she had, you know, a bunch of, she has, you know, anxiety and, you know, stuff like that. That's really, it's like, you know, the stuff that's really hard to go through on your own. You know, it doesn't, you know, make you like a bad person or like a messed up person or anything like that, but it's, you know, some challenging stuff to get through on your own. And I have the same issues. I have, you know, really bad anxiety, really bad depression, stuff like that. And, you know, it's hard to get through without anybody. So being without somebody for 4 months, and then, you know, you find a friend who turns into your best friend, you know, that's an important person. And I consider her one of my best friends. And I know she does the same. But there is, you know, another reason that is now taking her away from me, per se. She's not leaving me, she's still going to be here. But other third-party reasons are taking her away from me a little bit. Now, granted, I will still be able to call her and, you know, talk to her if anything, you know, happens to me, or I really need somebody to talk to. I can still call her anytime, and I know that. You know, that's the kind of girl she is. I mean, she, you know, is a very, very good friend, and she will listen to anything that I have to say, and she'll listen to me, and she'll help me through anything. And, you know, it's just, she's a great, great girl. And, but there's other stuff that's just not allowing that on a constant basis. So that sucks, and it's frustrating. But the reason behind it is not something that I'm trying to get in the middle of, because that's not the kind of person I am. So So I understand. It sucks. I wish it wouldn't happen. I think it's stupid, but I understand it. And that's a cop, because I see light bar on top. Yes, it is. But you know, it's just, you know, all of my close friends, like, that's it. Those 4 people that I talked about, you know, my buddy that's in college out of state, Jesse, Sierra, and then this girl are like my only 4 good friends that I have. You know, recently I met, you know, another kid that's been nice, you know, that's been really cool to hang out with and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm not going to have any of my best friends anymore, and it's all for either really stupid reasons or reasons that I can't get mad at because it benefits the other person. Like Jesse and Sierra, like, it benefits them to be doing what they're like, to be moving and doing what they're doing, and I am very happy that they are. It's just gonna suck, you know. It's one of those kind of things. In no way, shape, or form, you know, do I want them to feel any guilt for leaving, because I know it sucks. It's not like they want to go and I'm like, oh no, please stay, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's like they don't want to move either, and they'll be back after a while. It's just, you know, I'm not going to have anybody for the time being in between. And screw this guy. So it's just going to suck. And